Welcome to Empire Academy. I'm Ross. This is Steve. Thanks for joining us today. We want to speak about one of the coolest features that we have here at Empire, and that is our 2020 program. That is agent engagement. That allows us to expand our brand. And so today we're going to let Steve talk more about how that program works and how you can utilize it to grow your individual business as a BDM.
So we created the 2020 program, and the reason we created the 2020 program is we wanted to be able to engage with other realtors in the industry and have them be a funneling source to Empire with their investor clients, because agents, let's face it, are the ones that are working with the investors, and they are also the gatekeepers of the investors, because sometimes you can't get to the investor because you don't know where they are, because not all investors go to investing clubs and groups.
Yes.
50 to 60% of our clients are out of state and out of country owners. When you think about that, the only way for us to get to those investors are through the agents and the agents referring us.
Yep.
So you have to realize what is in it for the agent. Why would the agent want to refer? So the biggest dilemma or problem with realtors and property management companies is the realtors feel that the property management company steals the client from the agent on the back end of the sale, meaning the agent refers the client to the property management company, property manager gets the property, and 2 years later the investor says, I want to sell the house. The management company sells the house. Agent is left out of the cold, they don't know anything about it, and they get a sour taste with the property management company because they're saying, hey, I spent all that money on the acquisition of this client, I spent all the hard work, I helped them buy the house, you got the client, and now I got nothing.
Yep.
So the 2020 plan solves that problem. What the 2020 plan does is, number one, we ensure that if the investor ever wants to sell that property, we will send that property back to the agent. So the agent is always assured to at least get a crack at selling the property. Now, we cannot force the owner to sell the property with that agent, but we don't, at Empire, we do not want to be a part of the sale. So they can go somewhere else or they can go to the agent, but at Empire, we don't want to be a part of it because that's bad business and bad reputation. So the first way we protect them is we are there to give them the property back. That's the first way. Second way is if the owner wants if the agent wants to lease the property, they are more than welcome to do the lease. We actually will do the criminal credit background check of any tenant, and we will make sure that it matches our criteria because we have a 1% eviction rate, so it makes sense that we would do the screening. We will prepare the lease agreement for the agent. We make it so easy for the agent, it's unbelievable.
Remove all liability.
We remove all liability. They don't want to do the screening, so we actually are helping them again because they don't know how to do the screening. They don't do it all the time. We do it all the time. We have a 1% eviction rate, and what that's going to do is that is going to ensure a good tenant for the owner, which is going to be a good experience for the owner, which means chances of them buying another property are going to be much higher, which means that agent is going to get more business because of the relationship and the way that we set this up. Now, if the agent does not want to lease the property, that's fine. They can give it to us and we will give them 20% referral fee. So that's where the first 20 comes in our 2020 program. The second part of our 2020 program is that for the first year, we will pay that agent 20% of what we make on the management fee for the year. So again, it's a referral fee. It's paid out for 1 year. We pay it out on a quarterly basis, but it's collected monthly.
Yep.
So that is not a lot of money. The big money is the sale, but that is the second half of the 2020 program. First half of the 20 is if we lease it out, we will give them a 20% referral fee. Second half is no matter what, they always get 20% of what we make on the management fee for 1 full year. And guaranteed that we will always send back that client if they ever want to sell the property. Also, more important, if we place that tenant, we will back with a 1 year tenant placement guarantee that if that tenant gets evicted, we will bear the cost to re-lease that property. We're not going to insure the rent. We are just going to bear the cost of releasing that property. So we're going to pay the agent cost, not the rental cost. So that's important to know. But again, this is something that is so important to the agents because what happens is it removes liability from the owner or the broker So the broker does not have to be liable for any management duties, but it gives the realtor a different, a point of difference with their clients to say, I have one of the #1 management companies in Texas that I can refer you to, and they will take care of you. So we are seamlessly tied to this realtor. Now this realtor is tied to a company that manages over 1,000 properties, that has a 1% eviction fee. We actually can do an initial conversation with the client as a BDM. You want to get in an initial conversation where it's a 3-way conversation, where it's the agent, the owner, and yourself. And it's we are a third party, non-biased. We're just having a conversation, letting them know that we all work together synergistically, and it works very well. So you're adding depth to the agent, and you are adding doors to Empire, which is adding to your bottom dollar. So the 2020 plan, it works so well. If you go to realtors and you talk to them, or brokers, and let them know about it, it is amazingly effective for you to get more business in your pipeline.
And what's cool about everything you just mentioned is that, there's one component that I think allows you to grow your business, is that this is paid out quarterly. What does that do to the agent when they get a check? That reminds me, it says Empire on the check, right?
Absolutely.
This is a re-engagement. This is an opportunity for you to follow up, to pursue them, to go, hey, I just wanted to check and make sure you got the check from Empire. Guess what? They start getting 4 or 5 of these that they've referred over. They have a decent check that comes in quarterly. And guess what they're going to continue to do? Start referring more business. What you've done is you've created a relationship that is a built-in systematic process of follow-up. You know to follow up with them quarterly. And basically, they're going to start relying on you as part of a check, relying on Empire as part of a check. So they're going to continue to send you business as part of like their base income and salary.
Yeah.
So if you have 10 people that are basically on this 2020 program and sending you 2 or 3 deals a month, that's a pretty good start, and that's not even including the leads that Empire's sending you.
Right.
So that's why this program is so powerful. Is the more people you get on your 2020 program that send business to you, the sky's the limit.
And more importantly too, one of the things you want to think about is when you are doing this 2020 program, you can let them know that, hey, if you have an investor that's asking you some advanced questions about investing and you don't know, we are a perfect resource to say they can tell the owner, you know what, I don't know the answer to that, but I know the company that will. Let me set up a meeting and they will be able to answer those questions. So now what happens is you become that reliable source to that agent. And what happens is they start letting their other agent friends know about you, and they start referring. And all of a sudden they say, wow, these Empire people, and that is how we got such a big name with realtors, was through word of mouth. And every client is equal to 5.7 referrals. So once you get one client, we know that they hang around like-minded people that also want to buy properties.
Yep.
So it's just something that is going to snowball, and you're going to get bigger and bigger and bigger with your inbound leads. It may be a while to get the momentum wheel turning initially.
Yes.
And once it gets going, I'm telling you, it will work. And it's a matter of you. At the end of the day, this is a relationship business. You have to establish relationships with these agents. They do business with people they like, not people they have to do business with. So if they like you and they like us and they like our product, they will do business with us. And that, I think, is very important to know.
Absolutely. I mean, this is one of the most powerful things that we could go over in any video, is the branding of this and the branding of yourself and the relationships through other agents. The more you have this, the less. This is the epitome. This epitomizes the phrase "work harder, not smarter."
Yes.
The more relationships you have and the more work you put in on the front end, it literally, like he said, it's a snowball, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger to the point where you're literally just closing deals because people are just sending them to you, and that's your whole job.
Yeah.
What salesperson would not want that?
Yeah.
So that's the whole premise of this program, is we designed it to benefit every single party involved, and it rarely do you get to do that, and this is one of those programs that does. So we hope this has been helpful, and I'm Ross, this is Steve. Thanks for watching today. Take
Bye-bye.
care.